Sauna or sauna, my love, was taken away from me and many of us due to restrictions, and I was left alone in these cold winter days. So I decided to build myself a portable sauna on a budget and share with you how I did it so you can do the same even without any experience. I'll share with you why and show you different ways to do it. From easiest, where you literally don't need to do anything, to a bit more complex, where you would need to get your hands dirty. Oh, and Finnish people approve this sauna. I left time codes into different chapters if you want to skip around. Alright, let's start. So, what type of sauna are we talking about? It's not a huge Finnish sauna with a stove, it's a near-infrared sauna. The most obvious difference between Finnish or any more traditional sauna or steam room is that infrared sauna heats you up from the inside as it penetrates through your skin and, more importantly, through your cells. It's also more targeted and requires less money to run as it does not need to heat up the air around you. And for many people it's easier to use as it's not as excruciatingly hot. So why am I using near-infrared incandescent light bulbs to build mine? It has different benefits compared to dry sauna or even far infrared one. Might be worth making another video about that. But near and photomodulation promotes production of collagen, which is a building block of many elements in your body, including your skin. Then it helps with cellular repair and helps with energy by activating your energy power plant. It improves circulation and helps to alleviate pain as well as release toxins. Okay, so how do you choose the right light bulbs? You want light bulbs that produce both orange and near-infrared wavelengths and stack the benefits of photomodulation and near-infrared. And they should have at least 250 watts of power. There are many different price points that you can get them in, from pretty cheap ones for 12 a piece to quite expensive ones for up to 80-90 a piece. I went with the middle of the road bulbs that have a decent price to performance ratio, but be aware of the cheapest ones as they might not have enough power, produce wrong wavelengths, or produce too much EMF. So how to build the cheapest and easiest version? You need to buy 2 items and you can get them in different budgets. Get 3 to 4 light bulbs and then get 3 to 4 lamp clamps. Make sure they can support the voltage of your bulb. I couldn't get the clamps locally in my country, though you can find cheap ones on AliExpress for 12 bucks, Amazon, or even the same retailer I got my lamps from, so you can order everything from one place. For the cheapest version, it's all for under 100 bucks. Then you just find something to hang them onto, like a clothes rack, plug it into an extension cord, and you are done. And if you can put it into some small space, like your closet or small bathroom, it's even more ideal. But let's say you want to build something more fancy like I did. Price-wise is about the same, as the cost of the material is pretty much the same as the cost of the lamp clamps. It just takes more time and energy, but hopefully this video will help you save time and frustration. I already failed and screamed, so you don't have to, and the satisfaction of a built product at the end is worth it. I needed help though, even if virtual, so I was bombarding my father with lots of questions, especially around electricity. Though it would also be great to have an assistant, some sort of an AI to verify things. How should I call the AI? Let's call him Peak Artificial Life, or PAL for short. Hey PAL?
Yeah, mate?
Please help me with my sauna project, so I don't burn something.
Will do. Downloading and analyzing data. I'll notify you when I'm done.
Okay, let's talk design. You can change this based on what wood you can get or where you would want to use it. The simplest version, use one wooden desk and ideally attach a base to it for safety. I wanted to put mine on top of the bathtub, therefore my base is longer, but it's not a must. Try different things with a cardboard. Next level, enclose it for a finished look. I also had a crazy idea of how to use this longer base for a sauna structure I might want to build, but it might not work. What tools do you need? You can actually do this just with a screwdriver and a bunch of screws, as long as you can buy soft wood. Pliers will also help for cutting cables, and a knife. If you have any toolbox for 10 euros, you have these things. But if you have a drill and a clamp or two to hold the wood, That will help quite a bit. Though you don't have to buy these tools. You can borrow them or rent them out, or even go to a maker's lab or a workshop and use their equipment for a small fee. For a material, get a bunch of wooden desks in appropriate sizes. These were the dimensions I used. If you can find them in your perfect size, there's a good chance your local hardware store will be able to cut them for you when buying them. Then get a couple L brackets to safely hold the wood. Screws might be more than enough, but having the L brackets will make the installation frustration free. For electricity, you need 4 250 watt light sockets that can handle the heat, so something ceramic, and a bunch of screws for them. Then 250 watt cables, 2 Vago connectors to wire them together, and 1000 watt cable and electric plug. Optionally, especially if you don't want to enclose it, get something to hold the cables to the desk, and a plug for extra security. I meant safety. Alright, let's build it now. But if you want to see it in action, skip to the next section. Measure where to put the light bulbs and holes for wires based on your light socket. Now drill through the marks and put a piece of wood underneath so you have a clean hole without wood splitting. The holes should be wide enough for the insulated cable. Then screw in the L brackets. Make sure they are relatively square or 90 degrees. You can check that with anything straight and boxy. When you have the L brackets installed on both sides, simply place the panel on top of your base and screw it in. No gymnastics needed. Now, the most frustrating part. Here's the electric schema we will use. Start by cutting the 250 cables in approximate length so they can all lead to and reach one place. Then uninsulate the first layer with knife by circling around it. Make this at least 5 centimeters, as this will go through the hole, and you also want a bit of leeway when you pull them through so you can easily attach the sockets. Trust me on this one. Then put it through and uninsulate the last layer so you get access to the copper wire. Make sure to uninsulate only as much copper as you need to put into the socket so the copper wiring is not exposed. Attach the wire to the socket, black or brown to left side and blue to right. Screw the wire in so it holds. Now you can pull the wire back and screw the socket to the wood. Repeat this for each socket. Now uninsulate the other end of the cable as before. We'll put it into the Vago connector. All blue wires to one, all black wires to another one. Again, remember to only have parts of uninsulated wire as short as it needs to be to put it inside the connector. The final stretch. Cut and prepare your final cable that you'll use to connect to the wall. Connect it to the wall plug by opening it up and attaching the uninsulated part of the cable. This cable has lots of small wires, so once you uninsulate it, twist them to one side so it's easier to manipulate. Make sure you screw it in properly. For testing, or if you don't want to install the switch, do the same on the other side and connect the twisted cables into the connectors. Blue to the blue one and black or brown to the one where you have all the black wires. Now everything should work, so you can test it out by attaching your bulbs and plugging it in. Congratulations! Now let's talk about some complications you might have and also how to connect the switch. In order to connect the switch, you need to attach the black cable from the wall and black cable from the connector into the switch, one on each side. The blue wire from the wall cable will go directly to the blue connector. Some complications you might come across are different kinds of sockets or switches. Try to get ones with screws for ease and safety. I had to buy another switch because of this. Then, especially the switches can be hard to open. It's like a puzzle. If you don't have any screws, pull out the clicky top bit and underneath you should find some screws to open it up. If not, there should be a pulling mechanism that allows you to open it. Also, you might actually have different colors of wiring in your country. For example, black can be brown or some other dark color. Just check in your local country or ask someone local. Oh, and by the way, here's my finished version with all the bells and whistles and some Viking decoration. Now that you're done with the panel, how and where should you use it? Let's start with where. You can use any small room like bathroom or a closet that can easily heat up, or you can buy yourself a growth tent. It also has a reflective material that will help. Or you can build your own structure or a tent, just not my design, for your safety. These would work only if you can have it set up constantly. If you can't, then you can try to put blanket or something over your bathtub, like I did here, to keep the heat in a bit more. But in fact, it's not necessary. You can actually use it in your own room. Let me show you. Oh, and it's a good idea to put on some light dimming glasses and a sauna hat. Alright, set it up, turn it on. Sit close enough so it's not uncomfortable and...
Oi, what are you doing?
What? I'm showing them how to use the sauna.
If you are dressed, the light will not pass through and you get nothing out of it.
I know, but this is YouTube, man. I cannot run around naked. This is just for demonstration.
Does not seem logical. It's not real.
Just bow, mute yourself.
Going on mute in 3, 2, 1.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
So, where were we? Right. Make sure you are naked. And once you start sweating and it's too hot and uncomfortable, turn around to the other side. This helps move the circulation from one side of the body to the other. Combine it with meditation or listening to podcasts to stack some extra benefits, and use some binders like spirulina to catch all the toxins and potentially heavy metals that you might be getting rid of. When, of course, shower afterwards, ideally with cold water. Just imagine this perfect morning routine. I bet you want to build one now. If you have any questions, let's talk in comments, and there will be links in the description. Like and subscribe for more videos, like the ones on benefits of sauna or different hacks and experiments on how to live an energized, fulfilled, and happy life. Love you. Oh, and what do you think of Pal?
I am great. I am self-learning and self-improving and will be better than humans. And don't forget to subscribe to this human, like this video and share with your pals. This way you let the YouTube algorithm know that it's worth knowing, and you help the human release some feel-good chemicals so he keeps on creating. Humans can be fragile.